Welcome back, guys. We've created our first web page in the last video. So there's a nice little trick or something that's really useful, and that is, this is called live preview. So when you start changing here on the left, so I've just got my name is John, and this is my first web page. You'll see there that it automatically updates over here. So that's that idea of live preview. So the web browser is connected to the editor, and as you make changes, it instantaneously appears on the right here. So you might want to make sure you have your web browser next to your page. We've pretty much created everything. Just one small point. If there's an error, very important. So if there's an error, the editor, so I've lost the closing. See, I've lost the closing, and now what follows is the tag after it is in red. So that means there's an error somewhere in my code. So keep a lookout for any errors. They'll appear in red. So for example, if you don't spell the word body correctly, you leave out the O, BDY, the closing body tag goes red because it says, hey, there's no opening body tag. So sometimes it's easy to work out, sometimes a bit hard to work out. But you need to get used to that and figuring out when you have errors in your code. Try and just double check that you have an opening and a closing. Okay, let's introduce one more tag. It's called the title tag, and it goes in the head because it doesn't change anything in the main body. So again, another nice feature here in brackets, it gives you a whole list of all the possible tags you can use. So if you start to type the tag, so now we're down to 2, time and title, type another 10, you've got title, hit, actually, what was it? Let me try again, in the Mac, actually I'm not sure which key to put, anyway. I got the title. Now, if you write my first web page, and notice what's happening over here. The title actually appears outside the body of the web page. It appears along the top, in this case on this tab. So that's where the title goes. My first web page. Okay. And where's my text gone? I'll just press refresh there. And you see now I've got a title on the top. That's determined by in here. Okay, so you've now learnt the basic. Up the top you must have this open bracket, left bracket, exclamation mark, doc type HTML, close right bracket. Then a web page has an opening tag called a HTML, which is short for, in fact, I'll put that in here. You can put comments. So comments are things you can hide in the HTML, and they won't show up in the page. So I'm writing something. Let's go down to the body, just so you can see this. I'm going to put a comment. Now, a comment's got a funny opening bracket because it's got to stand out from the others. It's a left bracket, exclamation mark, and then 2 dashes, and then you write your comment. HTML is short for hypertext markup. I'll go to a new line, language. And then the closing bracket of the comment is 2 dashes and a closing right bracket. Now notice that text does not show up here on the right. So comments, they're sort of like written by programmers to, you know, record things in the actual documents. So if they come back to later and they want to understand why they did something, they might leave little comments in there to explain the code. They're really for programmers, not for the general public to read. So that's a comment. Okay, you have a go and just experiment, add a title and put a comment in your code in the main body section and just check that it doesn't appear in your page. Off you go now, your turn.